For more than 2 decades, Indian students followed the same script. If you were ambitious and your family could somehow arrange the money, there were three dream destinations for foreign education: the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. But today, that script is finally breaking. For the first time in years, Indian student numbers to all three countries are falling at the same time. Visa rejections are rising, costs are exploding, and the traditional big three are no longer the default choice. At the same time, countries like Germany, New Zealand, Russia, France, the Netherlands, and Poland are seeing a surge in Indian applications. This isn't a small shift. It's a global rerouting of Indian talent, and it's happening right now. Let's break down what's really going on. For years, the picture was simple. The US meant tech jobs. The UK meant one-year master's degrees. Canada meant easy pathways to PR. Indian students went in massive numbers. And in total volume, they still do. The United States hosts more than 3.5 lakh Indian students today, the highest in history. So if you only look at totals, it looks like nothing has changed. But look at fresh enrollments. Look at new visas. Look at the last 18 months. And the story flips. The US has seen a meaningful drop in new Indian enrollments. The UK has seen an even sharper decline. Canada has seen the steepest fall, driven by visa rejections and policy tightening. In some months, Canada rejected nearly 3/4 of Indian study permit applications. That alone pushed thousands of students to look elsewhere. Families that once saved for years to send their children abroad are now asking a very simple question: is this even worth it anymore? And increasingly, the answer is not in the old countries. If someone had told you 10 years ago that Germany would become a top destination for Indian students, you would have laughed. Today, not anymore. Germany hosts around 50 to 60,000 Indian students. India is now the largest source of international students in German universities. And in datasets tracking Indian applications abroad, Germany has quietly overtaken the United States in preference. So why is Germany suddenly the #1 choice for so many Indians? Reason 1: tuition, almost free. Most public universities in Germany charge no tuition fees. International students pay only a small semester contribution. That means a 2-year master's degree can cost a fraction of what it costs in the US or UK. Reason 2: living costs, manageable. Germany isn't dirt cheap, but it is far more affordable than the Anglosphere. Students need around 900 to 1200 euros per month for living expenses. That means around 20 to 30 lakh rupees total for a 2-year degree, all included. Compare that to 40 to 80 lakh in the US or UK, and the difference becomes obvious. Reason 3: visa and work pathways. Germany offers a high visa approval rate for Indian students who meet documentation requirements. And once you finish your degree, you get an 18-month job search visa. Add strong demand for engineers, programmers, data scientists, and STEM graduates, and Germany becomes one of the safest and smartest bets for Indian families. Germany wins on cost predictability, job prospects, and long-term stability. The second major winner in this global rerouting is New Zealand. This tiny island nation has seen a dramatic jump in Indian student interest. In some recent periods, Indian enrolments surged by more than 50 to 70%. Why the sudden rush toward New Zealand? Reason 1. 3-year post-study work visa. New Zealand offers up to 3 years of post-study work rights for eligible degrees. That's a huge advantage when compared to most European countries. 3 years means stability, longer job search windows, and a stronger chance of permanent residency. Reason 2. Visa processing. That's actually fast. While Canada and the UK started drowning in delays and rejections, New Zealand became known for clear, predictable timelines. Most Indian applications are processed in about 4 to 6 weeks. For families burnt by uncertainty and risk, predictability is priceless. Reason 3. Quality of life and English language. New Zealand offers a safe environment, excellent campuses, and an English-speaking society. But here's the important correction. New Zealand is not cheaper than Germany. Tuition fees are significantly higher. Living expenses are higher too. Students aren't choosing New Zealand for savings. They're choosing it for a clean, stable, predictable life path. Beyond Germany and New Zealand, several other destinations are rising fast. Russia, the medicine magnet. Indian medical students have poured into Russia. Why? Because it offers cheaper medical education, easier admission pathways, English medium programs. In recent years, Indian student numbers in Russia have jumped massively, especially for MBBS degrees. A second cluster of destinations has emerged across Europe. France, the Netherlands, Poland, and parts of Central Europe. These countries offer lower fees than the Anglosphere, more flexible admission routes, strong engineering and business programs, and clearer visa systems. They're not as cheap as Germany, but they're far more economical than the US or UK. And in an environment where everyone is searching for safety, value, and predictability, these countries have become strong contenders. Let's boil it down to 3 forces driving this shift. Force 1. Visa politics. The US tightened interviews and screening. The UK restricted dependents and tightened graduate route discussions. Canada introduced caps, froze permits, and saw rejection rates spike dramatically. Families got the message loud and clear. We can't gamble lakhs of rupees on unpredictable countries. Force 2. Cost versus outcome. Indian parents are now brutally rational. They're asking, why spend 50 lakh in the US when Germany offers a similar outcome for 20 to 30 lakh? Why fight for a Canadian visa when New Zealand gives a 3-year work visa with faster processing? For many, the old emotional choices are now being replaced by financial logic. Force 3. More information, more options. 10 years ago, most families only knew about 4 countries: the US, UK, Canada, and Australia. Today, YouTube, counselors, social media, and alumni networks had exposed students to Germany, France, Poland, Netherlands, Russia, New Zealand, Japan, UAE, Ireland, and more. The world map of opportunities has expanded, and Indian students are exploring it with confidence. So no, Indians haven't stopped going to the US, UK, or Canada. But the growth has shifted, the momentum has shifted, the trust has shifted. The dramatic rise of Germany, the surge toward New Zealand, the steady growth in Russia, France, and the Netherlands. These are not isolated events. They mark the arrival of a multipolar global education system, where Indian students are no longer bound to three destinations. Today, Indian talent is going where the value is highest, where the risk is lowest, and where the future feels most secure. And in the next 5 years, this trend will only accelerate. If you want a country by country breakdown, Germany versus New Zealand, France versus Netherlands, Russia versus Canada, and what the real costs, visas, and job prospects look like, tell me which country you want covered first. And if you found this episode useful, hit subscribe, because Periscope will keep unpacking how policy, economics, and geopolitics shape your future and India's future.